si Sir Ferdinand Perry Ferrer, ang President po ng Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Kausapin nga natin dahil may mga panukala po na gawin din sa private sector ang 4-day work week para makatipid sa gamit sa kuryente, sa fuel. Magandang umaga po sa inyo, Sir Perry.
Good morning!
Tayo, good morning. Good morning, Alvin, and good morning, Doris, and to all your listeners.
Good morning po.
Katanggap-tanggap po ba sa private sector ang 4-day work week? Feasible? Doable po, sir?
Pag sinabi mong feasible, yes, it is feasible. In fact, madami na sa manufacturing ang nagpo 4-day compressed. Gusto ko lang idagdag, compressed work week. Simula nung pagtataas ng mga bilihin since 2025. So madaming factories nagko-compress work week na ngayon.
So, feasible kung sa feasible, pero pabor po ba kayo na i-adapt din? Kasi sa gobyerno po, inanunsyo na nila na some government agencies are going to start today, Monday, ng 4-day work week. Pabor po ba kayo doon sa private sector o hindi siya pwedeng blanket na ipatupad sa lahat?
Tama ka doon. Alvin, you're right. The 4-day work week are good for certain sectors. Maybe in the services sector, maybe in the IT sector and services, pwede silang work from home. Ang sinasabi lang natin dito is some of the manufacturing, it will be very difficult. Napakahirap mag 4-day work week na meron backlog yung factory. Hindi natin pwede isara ang factory to implement 4-day work week. Kaya madaming mga kumpanya na factories na nagpatupad na ng 4-day compressed work week. Ibig lang sabihin nun is the workers, kasi dapat tignan natin yung the sustainability for the workers, lalo na sa mga sahod, na they still get the proper pay and the whole week's pay, but in less period of time, let's say in 4 days instead of the normal 5 or 6 days.
Sir Perry, pag sinabing compressed, ibig sabihin 10 oras kada araw ang trabaho.
That's correct. Tama yun.
Para yung 40 oras, pasok pa rin yung 40-hour work week.
Tama yun, because we also have to, dapat alagaan natin yung take-home pay ng mga empleyado. With the potential rise in, nakikita natin since 2025, some of the mga bilihin natin dito umaakyat, we want to make sure na ang mga empleyado, nakukuha pa rin nila yung sapat na sweldo nila.
Opo, pero sa palagay, sa palagay po ba ninyo ma-achieve yung objective? Tama naman din talaga na makakatipid tayo sa enerhiya if we implement these measures.
There are two dalawa yan, Alvin. One is yung kuryente sa mga factories, opisina. The other one is fuel. Sa mga kuryente, doon muna tayo, Alvin. Sa mga kuryente, electricity, the base load for our electricity, still the majority still comes from coal power plants. I believe, I'm not exactly know about the percentage, but I believe it's between 60 or 65% of all our kuryente is generated from coal power plants, and the coal comes from Indonesia. And that's one. And then the balance is renewable, which we do have good, and pasalamat tayo sa DOE, talaga napalawak nila yung renewable energy and yung malampaya. So when it comes to kuryente, I do not think there is concern na mawawalan tayo ng kuryente. Baka tumaas ng konti, pero when it comes to the supply, hindi tayo mawawalan. The other side of the coin is the fuel, gasolina, diesel, and so on. That is the one that we import also dito sa Pilipinas. Yun ang in danger ngayon na mag-spike ang presyo. Nakikita natin. And we import mostly refined fuel. We do not, isa na lang refinery natin sa Pilipinas, Petron. So yung Petron, ang nag-iisa na lang kumpanya natin that I know of that does refining, and ang ini-import nun, yun yung sinasabi natin crudo.
Oo, oo.
So all the rest of the oil companies import, whether it's gasoline, diesel, or other types of fuel, aviation fuel.
Opo. Kaya nga po, pinag-usapan natin yung presyo ng produktong petrolyo. Balik lang ako doon sa magiging epekto po sa mga manggagawa. So kung compress na 10 hours, wala nang overtime?
Yung compress, pwede pa rin mag-overtime kung kailangan. But ang at least nasiguro natin na yung buong sweldo ng empleyado makukuha pa rin nila in less work days. Doon meron tayong makikitang whether it's 20% savings. Now the savings is with the employee. Hindi na yan mamamasada, hindi na yan ilan sakay, 2 or 3 sakays. But where we are reviewing now, so pag binawasan mo yung workers na magbabiyahe, the jeep, whether it is 14-seater or 12-seater, imbis na puno, magiging 8 na lang. Pero tatakbo pa rin yung jeep. So, yung bus is the same thing. Imbis na 50 ang sakay na lang to 40 or less. Pero tatakbo pa rin yung transportation natin. And it goes on. So dapat what we're working with the government, ang ni-request namin sa government is hopefully meron transitory or transition that maybe in the next 2 weeks the government should be able to absorb the shocks of this Middle East fuel concerns or crisis, well, whether it's tax related, bawasan yung tax or VAT para naman hindi na magtaas ang fuel natin or sa pump station, sa gasolinahan. Yun ang dapat sana na magawa natin to lessen the impact dito sa lahat ng mga Filipino. We support the conservation initiatives of the government. Sana dagdagan na rin ng efficiency, energy efficiency programs, efficiency and conservation. But we definitely support it. But it is not the only answer. Mas malalim pa ang dapat tignan natin.
Opo. So one last, sir, ano ang pwedeng i-commit ng private sector kaugnay sa gusto nating objective na makatipid sa konsumo ng enerhiya?
Ang private sector is talaga simula nung nagka-conflict dyan sa Middle East, nag-iisip na ang private sector paano tayo makatipid. Whether it's carpooling, as it relates to fuel, whether it's carpooling or tama yung 4-day work week, work from home, at least makabawas ng 20% sa requirements. Ang pagtitipid talaga sa paggagamit ng fuel-related, whether equipment or mga makina or mga sasakyan. Ngayon, ang next is sa mga factories, tinitignan na rin namin paano makatipid dito sa whether it's yung mga opisina, tataasan yung mga aircon from 24 degrees or 23 degrees, akit sa 25 degrees para hindi takbo ng takbo yung compressor. Nagpapasalamat kami na madami ng mga factories who have implemented solar renewable energy. So yun, malaking tipid yun. And also, kino-consolidate namin whether it's the shifting, ang pagbibili is all in bulk and coordinating within the industries. So yan, may mga provisions na at mga programs na mga kumpanya last week pa, even before the pronouncements of the government, because we know there is this pending increase na tatama sa atin, hopefully not right now.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Maraming salamat. Mabuhay po ang PCCI.
Thank you, Alvin, and thank you, Doris, for having
Maraming
us
salamat
at
sa Ginoong
PCCI.
Ferdinand Perry Ferrer, ang presidente po ng Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry.